Hello everyone, this is the Archfiend, and today I want to answer a few questions that have come my way because a lot of you guys out there, you write me and you say, Archfiend, is there anything that you like on YouTube? Do you just hate everything on YouTube? And if you do hate everything on YouTube, why do you bother coming back? Well, I'll tell you right now, there is a lot of things that I enjoy on this website. There are a lot of things that anyone can enjoy on this website, even if you're a cynical asshole like me. One of which is going to be the topic of today's video, is Botchamania. Those of you that have seen any one out of the over 180 editions of Botchamania know exactly what I'm talking about. All Botchamania is a compilation of wrestling errors, gaffes, misspeaks. Basically, it's stuff that wasn't exactly scripted and the companies don't necessarily want to make public knowledge of. You know, it could be something like a fan running into the ring, a wrestler falling off the top rope and landing on his head, you know, stuff that wasn't supposed to happen. But this guy Matthew from across the pond puts together these little compilation videos, and they're just hysterical. I've watched every single one of them, most of them more than once. I think they are hands down the most entertaining thing in the wrestling industry right now. That's how good they are. Not only do I watch and enjoy the show, but I support it by buying their products. Now, I don't buy shit from anything that has to do with some little internet TV show or a channel, but this is that one exception. This is that one channel, and actually he has a number of channels because he has to keep leapfrogging because his content keeps getting pulled, but that's a whole different story. This is that one thing on YouTube that keeps me coming back. When I see there's a new Botchamania in my inbox, I watch it instantly. There's no second thought about it. I don't even care if it's going to make me late for work by 10 minutes. I will watch that episode of Botchamania. But with being a fan of Botchamania and being a critic of others, I started thinking about things here. Now, this guy Matthew, he makes these videos, puts them together, and recently something has changed about Botchamania. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of everything here, I want to state that I am still as 100% a fan of Botchamania as I ever have been. I have no problem with anything that Matthew is doing with Botchamania. But I have to at least question why I would critique others and not willingly critique and hate Matthew for what he's doing. Now, this is where the whole situation develops here, and before I made this video, I was talking to Undertaker Freak 1127. He, like myself, is a lifelong wrestling fan. We both share the same interests in wrestling. We both really don't have too much of an interest in the current day product of wrestling. And I know he's a fan of Botchamania, much like myself. Now, the other day I was talking to Undertaker Freak, and I was looking past the candlelight, and we were holding up our glasses of wine. I said, Undertaker Freak 1127, you have amazing eyes. I said, Undertaker Freak 1127. I'm going to ask you this because I know you see Botchamania, and you enjoy it, and we both have the same interests in wrestling. I asked him, if both of us hate someone like Ray William Johnson, how can we just willingly accept, promote, and like a channel like Botchamania? And at first he laughed it off and was like, you know, I really don't see how there's much of a comparison there at all. And that's kind of initially what I thought of it as well. Now, to step back for a second, for those of you who might be a little confused, both people like Undertaker Freak 1127 and myself have come down on Ray William Johnson for being, you know, completely unoriginal, for being a thieving cunt, for basically taking someone else's product and selling it off not so much as their own, but profiting off of another person's product. Now, with the Botchamania series, this has gotten so big that Matthew has been able to create a website that's getting a decent amount of traffic to it, which I'm sure he's getting a little bit of ad revenue from. But more specifically, in the past several Botchamanias, there has been a commercial that's been put on before each episode of Botchamania. It's mainly for this professional wrestling company that's out of Philadelphia called Chikara Pro Wrestling, and it's like a 20-second commercial, tells you to go to their website, check out, the Chikara wrestlers and all this other stuff, and I was all well and fine with that. I had no problem with that whatsoever. In fact, Matthew mocks the fact that he's making money and that he's quote-unquote sold out. And like he often will put a song on there that has, a theme of money and all this other shit. And he knows that he's going to get some criticism for this. But I've noticed that criticism really isn't there. When I look through the comments on his recent videos, no one's really calling him a sellout. No one's saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. You're selling out and making money off of another person's content and all this other shit and blah blah blah." And I just got to ask, why aren't there people saying that? Because, like I said, I followed Matthew and the Botchamania series from episode number 1. I can recall maybe 3 times ever that I've seen someone leave a negative comment saying, he's stupid for doing what he's doing, he's unoriginal, he's not talented and all this other shit. But as far as the approval that his videos get, they're off the charts. People love what he does, like myself. But I have to sit here in all honesty and say, what is he doing that's any different than Ray William Johnson? And I gotta ask, because a lot of my fans out there are fans of myself, obviously, and a fan of Botchamania, and have this, despising taste in their mouth when you see someone like Ray William Johnson. And I really don't know how to really rationalize it. Are we just being selective because we like one and hate the other, therefore we accentuate the negatives and hide the negatives in the other? Is it hypocrisy? What is it, people? And as I was talking with Undertaker Freak 1127 about this, the one thing that we can rationalize is that, the difference in money that someone like a Ray William Johnson makes compared to the Botchamania series is, day and night. I mean, Ray William Johnson will be able to buy several houses from what he makes, and Matthew will be able to buy maybe a new hat or something with the money he makes. But it still doesn't change the principles of the matter, which are making money off of another person's content. And in both cases, that principle is pretty much identical. In fact, you could argue, actually you can't argue, it's a fact that in Matthew's material, it is 100% copyrighted. In the Ray William Johnson videos, he at least appears on camera for, 20 to 30% of the video. Matthew uses copyrighted songs, movies like just RoboCop, Blazing Saddles, GoldenEye, just a number of different clips from movies, and he's now profiting off of it. And I can't bring myself to criticize him because I really enjoy the product. And I guess one of the other main things of why I wouldn't be so critical about what's being done in the Botchamania series is that it's helping create interest in the wrestling industry. There is a tangible product to consume outside of this, whereas with Ray William Johnson, when you feature someone's viral video, there's no real product to invest in once you see, oh, there's that person that slipped on the ice, let me go out and buy a, slipped on the ice t-shirt. Whereas with Botchamania, it's like, oh, look at that, I saw that wrestler on TV, that's the one I saw in Botchamania. I don't know, maybe I feel interested in seeing them at a live event now, and they end up buying a ticket, or they see them on a pay-per-view, or they buy a t-shirt. So, I don't know. Am I just a hypocrite about it? Are we, as haters of Ray William Johnson and likers of Botchamania, just having selective liking and disliking? Because I can tell you, man, I follow every step of Botchamania, and I follow all their videos, and I look through and I skim through some of their comments, and You look at that like and dislike ratio, and boy, that guy's getting nothing but approval, and deservedly so, but it begs the question, is he getting a pass for profiting off of someone else's material simply because his fans in the far majority like what he does? Even if the principles are just a solid foundation of, yes, he is taking the person's content and profiting off of it. So, I don't know. I really don't know how to rationalize it. I mean, are people just going to say, well, the answer's simple, Archfiend, you're a hypocrite. You hate Ray William Johnson, but you like another guy for doing the same thing. I can accept that if that's what people think, and I'm not afraid to, throw that out there. If that's what people want to label me with, so be it. But man, I can tell you right now, I'm still going to be watching Botchamania and still enjoying the hell out of it. I don't know. Does this change the way you guys think of this at all? Because it's weird. No one ever accuses Matthew of being a thieving cunt, how, like, a lot of us would accuse Ray William Johnson. And I don't know. Maybe you guys do. Just something I wanted to throw out there, and making a video about Botchamania and, just paying my respects, if you will, to how goddamn entertained I have been with the Botchamania series is long overdue. So, good work, Matthew, if you saw this. I'm glad to help support you by buying your t-shirt, and I go to your website all the time, which is, cheap plug, botchamania.com. So, yeah, hopefully I maybe create a little bit more interest in the Botchamania series and check out an episode or two. And try not to flame him too hard now for being a quote-unquote thieving cunt like Ray William Johnson. So, I'm pretty much out of things to say here, people. Hope you all had a great 4th of July, and I hope no one drank and drove. Drank and drove, is that how you say it? Alright, I'll just shut up now before I mess up anymore. Have a great day, people.